this. This will be available to watch again later. It'll be available on Relay Connect. So for friends who weren't able to come tonight, they're able to see what we shared on Relay Connect's recording. And also, if you want a refresher, where did I click? Where did we go? You can go and pause me, rewind me, replay me. We're having lots of fun. Hello, Sam. I see you. And Jerry and Kendra. Welcome to our classroom. It's a little easier than traveling. My gosh, we're from all over. Go ahead and use the chat box in the bottom left to introduce yourself. Oh, poor Irene. Her husband talks all the time, so mute is her friend. Sharon from Two Rivers. Where's Two Rivers at? There's a lot of double rivers around the country. As we're getting familiar with the chat box, I'm going to try my best to try to keep up with chat questions as well as doing live demonstration. But if any of you have your own suggestions, tips, tricks of how to approach some of the things we're going to go over tonight, feel free to contribute to the group. We will be saving the chat to share again later too. Oh, you don't need to see those thumbnail pictures until later. The slideshow, this is the first slide of the slideshow that I'll be using for part of the presentation. There's a bit.ly, which is a shortcut, bit.ly/relay-web-fall19, and the upper and lowercase do matter. Capital R on relay, capital W on web, capital F on fall, and that will bring you to the live hyperlinks, so you don't have to madly try to type the links of all the sites we'll be going to. We won't be going to too terribly many, but if you have the slideshow open, it saves you a little bit of typing. Hello, Tiffany. So far, we have 29 people in our classroom. It's exciting. Yay, we're getting there. Still trying. Okay, my co-chair, if you dial in and I don't see you, let me know so I can promote you so you can help me keep up with the chat box.
Hey, Darcy, it's Courtney. I am in.
Oh, you're in. I got to promote you so I don't try to be juggling. They're having a great group showing up here. We've been having lots of fun before. I think I have the recording started. I see my
perfect
button. And Courtney, I'm trying to find you.
Hey, Courtney's in as Tiffany Jones right now, so that's probably why you can't see her name.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to find Tiffany and
yeah.
Tiffany. I see.
And Courtney, you can change your name if you want to, also in case people hunt you down.
I see the blind man as he picked up the hammer and oh, she's co-hosting it. Awesome. And I can go here to more, and I'm going to rename, and it's just Courtney. What's your last name? I can't remember.
I updated it, Darcy.
Oh, you already did? I'll cancel.
Yep. Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome. So this is exciting. We are 1 minute. 1 minute, guys. 32 people participating. I'm so excited. Welcome to our Getting Your Relay website ready for kickoff training session. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box. To get to the chat, you just hover over the bottom left of your screen and a little chat, looks like a little bubble shows up. You can click on that and type it in. While we're presenting, if you don't feel comfortable with the keyboard or you got your hands busy or you're on a phone or whatever, you can sure unmute yourself and ask us a question. We will not get offended. We're here to help. We'll also have a question and answer session at the end too. If you're hoping we might get to your ideas and don't get there, we will have open mic session at the end as well. So life is good, and it's 7 o'clock. What do you think, Courtney?
I think we should go ahead and go.
All right, awesome. So I'm so excited. We have 33 people participating. This is going to be my biggest online relay training. I've done more bigger in-person ones, but here we go. All right, introductions. I am Darcy Lindgren. I am the North Region Online and Communications Lead. That's my big title. I help my local relay, which is a very small relay for life. We're actually a DIY relay in Albion, Nebraska, as their online chair and event chair. And last year we had 15 survivors show up and we raised $10,000. Like I said, we're a small relay, but we still love it. And every little bit helps to fight cancer. Over to you, Courtney.
Thanks, Darcy. I'm Courtney Goodell, and I am an online revenue program manager for Relay for Life. I work at our global headquarters, and I have been relaying now for 13 years, and I've done a little bit of everything. I used to be a community manager out in the field, and then I was a senior manager before I came into the online world. So I'm so excited to be here tonight and to get to co-facilitate with Darcy. She has put together a wonderful agenda, so I'm really excited for us just to go ahead and dive in.
Okay, I went and clicked, I'm sorry. Our next thing is just our goals for today. Our goal is, first of all, to get request event manager access. And as we found out in the chat box earlier, sometimes year after year, you're not always able to get into your website. So the steps of requesting access to the next year's website. We're also going to work through a new thing, the Quick Publishing Guide. Is a new tool, step-by-steps of making sure you have check boxes, get everything ready before your kickoff, making sure you have all the details accurate. And then hopefully we'll have some fun with some more advanced editing resources, how we can really tweak and personalize our websites. First of all, to get access to your website, you'll find out if you have to request access is if you go to Relay for Life. I'm going to go ahead and get this PowerPoint's going away. Here we go. So much for the PowerPoint. And go to the Relay for Life. I used to go to relayforlife.org, but now I found out it's relay.org. You don't have to type so much. I'm so excited. And then you simply click on the sign in button right here. Sign in. And I think the hardest part about this is remembering your username and password. And if you forget your username and password, you can request a new one or whatnot. But this is like half the battle, remembering your username and password. I tend to not use the Google link over here, even though this is a Gmail account. The first time I created my Relay account, I manually typed it in. And so now I just keep doing it that way. If I try to do a Google link, the validation's a little different and I don't see the same stuff sometimes. So I manually type it in myself. And you will know whether or not you have access is if this wonderful My Event Manager shows up here, okay? If you don't see that, that's the keys to the kingdom. If you don't see that, you don't have the advanced editing rights that you need to customize your site's website. For any of those dialed in here, has anyone checked to see whether or not you have event access, or put it in the chat if you've had some problems? Well, anyway, even if you currently have, I know I have one participant, Kendra, she still has her 2019 event going on, but there is a chance when her 2019 event is over and they're setting up for the new year, she might lose access. So if you do lose access, the way to get back in is we have a step-by-step video here about getting it, or if you have this link, relayforlife.org/EMC Event Management Center _ you can't see underscore, honestly, it's in there, access. You click here. If you're a previous editor, you click here. This will speed up the validation system. You fill it out. You have to log in and fill it out. And I already did it once. I hate to do it again, but we're going to go for it. And it pre-populated my fields. Since I've already been a manager, go ahead and say what you are, the name of your event, your state, your website ID is pretty easy to figure out. It's at the end of your previous year's website. When you're logged in, I go here to My Event. It's the thing at the top here. Come on. My window got too big. I couldn't see it. My website ID is at the end. There it is, that here. Mine is 96529. So it's in there, okay? It's hiding in there. Whether you have access or not, if you go to your Relay website, that is the ID, okay? And honestly, if you did this red and pre-populated it, they will give you access faster than doing it from scratch. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's like half the battle. Once you get access and you have the wonderfulness of My Event Manager showing up at the top, then you're good to go. Okay, so that's like the first hurdle to jump through to have this done. Okay, now I've lost my PowerPoint. I can do this. There it is. There's my PowerPoint.
Hey, Darcy, while you're on that, there was a really great question that came through is, will EMC Access give access to update the mobile app?
The mobile.
Oh, go ahead, Darcy.
I think the mobile app is populated by the details that we're going to be adjusting later. Is that correct?
That is correct. And if you run into an issue where those updates to the dates and times and location aren't reflecting in your mobile app, just reach out to your staff partner and they can submit a help ticket on your behalf. You can also reach out to the mobile app team by checking the help section. There is a number you can call and report any issues with date, time, and location. But those are the only things that you can change. You can't actually edit anything else in the app. Unless it's your own personal information, and then you can update your photo and story.
Uncontested 16-man single elimination tournament. The crown the new KRA culminates as Monday Night Raw.
Okay, I just muted Sharon. I'm sorry. Okay, now, once you get access, we have our quick publish guide. And this is actually, when you get access, you get a welcome email. And in your welcome email, this is one of the links right in your welcome email. So it's just click on it. It's a PDF and it has 3 pages. And I'm gonna go ahead and open it here. And the first page is just a checkbox, check, check, check. And the second and third pages is the same things that were on the first page, but a little more detail with links. So you might want to print the first page just to have your check marks, but have these in your PDF reader, whether it'll be in Chrome or Adobe Reader or however you like it. But these have more links that we're going to go to, like filling out my Facebook ID and things. So it's got more than just a checklist in it. And this is my goal for tonight, is to get through all these check marks. And once we've gotten all of this information correct on our website, it should also show on the mobile app. And also with the mobile app, just to let you know, last year I started receiving a couple donations, and I didn't realize I had to update my mobile app, and I also hadn't pointed to that this year's event. So before I take any donations for 2020, I'm going to double check in my mobile app that I'm looking at our Boone County Relay for Life, or Relay for Life of Boone County for 2020 and not 2019. My donations did eventually get to the right event, but it just a hindsight for me is to double check that before using that. Okay. So this is my goal for today, is going through this quick publish guide, and how I'm going to do that is live online. Okay. So in my quick publish guide, I'm logged into relay.org, and I see my event manager at the top. I'm not even looking at my website yet, but you have to get the stuff in the back end right before your website looks right. So it says to go into my event manager to start with. And over here is where we're going to start getting all of our details right. And it was hard for me. I was looking at this and I saw there were some things wrong, but I did not let myself fix them before the training tonight because I have to demonstrate it. Okay, so first thing I do is under Event Management Center, I go to Event Options, which is right here. And it says my fundraising goal amount is $100,000. That would be so nice, but we only have 7 people who raise money, and we're a small agricultural community, and so our actual goal is $10,000 this year. Last year we didn't quite make it, but that's our goal as a committee we set. Now, if you're just guessing, you might want to touch base with your committee before you fill in these numbers, obviously, but if you leave it, especially before you send out your email, make sure your committee agrees with your fundraising goal in there. Okay, the next thing it says on my checklist says to verify location information, and that's right here on the left. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to save. Okay, rule of thumb, always save when you change something. I'm gonna scroll down and say next, and that should save it. Okay, I'm gonna go back just to be sure. Yep, it did change. Rather than going to my left, I had to scroll down and hit next or else it doesn't save it. My location has stayed the same this year. So that it's just good to verify our address is still the same, state is still the same, zip code is still the same. Our country, do you guys think, does anyone else fill in the country or do you leave that blank?
You don't have to fill in the country.
And county, region, area, all this is optional. Okay, local office for mailing address. Now this one automatically sends everything to Omaha, which if people want to mail stuff to me, I'm the event lead. Like I said, we're very small. So I actually send it to my home address. You guys want to send
Hey, hold up, Darcy. Actually, if we could leave that as the local mailing address for the office, that's something, and I know since y'all are a DIY event, that's probably been something that you kind of adjusted here and there, but do want to let folks know that we want to keep that to our local offices.
So if they have a staff partner, leave it to that, and then their staff partner will deal with it.
Well, even if you don't have a staff partner, and what it is basically that appends to the offline donation form. So it'll include the participant name, address, any information that's pertinent to the event, and then those local offices know that that then goes to that specific relay.
So I should
Yep.
not change this.
So we try to keep those to the local mailing addresses.
So do I change this? No?
I would leave it to the Omaha address.
So notice I typed in it. I think the best way to get back out of here, notice I didn't go down and hit next. So I'm just going to go back to my location again, and it should refresh it to what it was. Nope, it didn't. I'm going to go back up.
We can always fix it later, Darcy. No worries. That's one great thing about the MC2. You can always come back and adjust.
I never said next, so now it's back to the.
Oh, perfect.
As long as I don't hit the word next on the bottom, it doesn't change it, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So verify our location and local mailing office address. Oh, it says. Oh, there was asterisk at the bottom telling me not to just type into it. Look first. So read. Okay, thank you. I'm so glad you're on this call. You're a lifesaver. Okay. Next. An edit advanced option is if you want to be emailed for new team notification. I have a whopping 4 teams, so I do want to be emailed. Yes, I do. If you have lots and lots of team and don't want to be spam, that's your choice. You can leave it blank.
And you can add multiple addresses too. So if you have a larger team recruitment committee, you can add in those folks as well. So it's really great. I love that you do that, Darcy, because that is a really great customer service piece.
So we just use a comma between our email addresses?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all we need. And now our e-commerce store associated with the event products. How do we get that number? This was auto-filled in for me. This is something that's new to me as far as checking this number at all. Do we worry about that?
Sorry, I couldn't come off mute. Yes, this is the default Luminaria store. If you have additional products besides the single white bag, then you can visit relayforlife.org / Luminaria stores. And there are links to that in that quick publish guide that Darcy has. So you don't even have to remember that or write that down. We have that for you. There will be a list of other Luminaria stores that are available with multiple products. So if you sell Torches of Hope for $100 and a white Luminaria bag and a purple caregiver bag, then those options are listed and there are multiple stores. If you have other products that you
I gotta go see this.
Yeah, if you have other products that are listed, then I have a ticket in on this. They're updating the store list. That's why. But
it's the wrong account. I have more than one.
Oh, okay.
So.
I know that there was an issue the other day with the Luminaria store link not working correctly, so I've got to ticket it. And they're adding more stores, I think is
My
what it
hopes
is.
up. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Joys of live presentations.
So, but that gives me another reason to follow up with that team to make sure that link's working. But just so you guys know, once that link is available, then you'll be able to visit that list of stores, find the appropriate store ID, and add that in here. But for now, all events are set to that default of the $10 white bag.
Which was last changed in 2017.
Yeah, because that was the last time we ran an update on like that portion of the website. So that won't say 2017 store.
Okay, so what's good to know about that 2017 just means the last time a price was changed or something, but our people who visit our store will just be seeing a Luminaria.
Exactly, yep.
So what I do for our small relay, we just have a morning event, and unfortunately we can't even light Luminarias because it's morning. And so we sell little puzzle pieces, which is a little different with our theme, and they're $5 a piece. And so we tell people for every $10 Luminaria they buy online, they get puzzle pieces. So it's just, tweak it. It's still money that goes towards ACS, so life is good. Okay, now that one is done. So I'm going to say finish, and it's going to save those things. Okay, next thing we do, it says edit milestones. On my list, it wasn't real obvious that it's all of a sudden going to show up over here, but it says edit milestones. I'm going to click here on edit milestones. Come on, work for me. And it's bouncing back and forth, and it's not happy. There it comes. Yay. So if you have some team milestones, you're just going to review the milestones and stuff. Obviously, we're a small event. Does anyone have some awesome milestones you track in here? You want to share with us?
So right now, we're still adding in milestone emails to the events for 2020. So that's why you're not seeing those participant milestones pop up. But when those are added in, what you're going to be able to do is actually go in and add notifications to anyone that hits a certain fundraising milestone. So if a participant raises $100, you can have a notification sent. A lot of events will use it for 1,000 plus. So if you have, once a participant hits that 1,000 and they hit the Grand Club, you can send them an email or give them a quick call or maybe visit and congratulate them on their fundraising. So it's a really great best practice when it comes to recognizing our participants fundraising, and I will make sure to follow up with our team and see when those milestone, because what they'll do is they'll add it in once the milestone emails have been added. But the fun part about having our 2020 sites kind of be available at any time is we're updating them a little bit longer into the fall than we had in the past. So I will follow up on that for you guys.
Okay. So right now,
hold on a second. In the past, team milestones haven't been filled out. Are they going to be filled out this year as well? Because that would be helpful.
I agree. So I've been trying to find out if we can get that done. I've been told there's a limitation as to why we're not able to do the team milestones. I know the participant will be there, but don't worry, I'm going to continue to champion to have that added because I think that would be huge for our relay participants or our relay committees to be able to have milestones for their teams as well.
Okay, I was just looking in the chat. Someone posted, please post in your email addresses as well for follow-up too. I missed that earlier. I hadn't seen that. I see a few emails showing up in there. So yeah, another way for us to contact you when these milestones do come out, we can email you guys saying they're there, go check them out. Awesome. Okay, so right now I didn't do any changes, so it's up to me whether I want to actually hit finish. I don't have to hit finish because I didn't actually change anything. I like to just go back to my event center over here. If you're not sure about whether or not you want to save what you did, or if your computer was weird, just go back over here. Don't do the finish and change. Okay, the next one is event properties. This is another place I hang out quite a bit, edit event properties. So notice my schedule starts at 7:30 in the morning. Yes, we begin at 7:30 in the morning, and it's not on a Monday. If we did a 5K to start off our Relay for Life on a Monday, how many people would come? No, it's on a Saturday. and it's June 13th. For us, it happens to be the same day as the high school alumni gathering, and there used to always be a 5K in that morning, and it went away, and they were whining, and we're like, we will fill that need. So yay, that's our reason for that date. So in our checklist, it says make sure my name is the same, my start time, date, location. Okay, an SMS text word to turn in opt-in sponsor 1 digit. So what about the SMS? Oh, text word to turn on opt-in widgets. So that is to like instant.
So Darcy, we have the option for events. If they would like, we can create it's called Slick Text is who we use for this, but it is a option to have a text messaging account where you can communicate with your participants if they've opted in. And this is where you would add the text word that's created. So for example, if your event, let's just say you're with Relay for Life of Terrebonne Parish. Sorry, I'm in Louisiana, so everything's parishes. And you have a text word and it's RFL Terrebonne. This is where you would enter it. And then in the contact section, a little text message widget, it'll say SMS, will appear. Folks can click on that. And if they text that text word, then they'll be opted into your text messaging program. And if y'all have any questions about using our SMS text messages, please reach out to your staff partner. They can make sure that the text word is created for your event, and they can share that out with additional details. And if there isn't one, they can get one created. That's something that we offer to any relay that would like to use it. So it doesn't matter the size of your event. Anybody can apply to use that service. And it's really great, especially leading up to your relay, to send out little reminder messages, encouragement, and then night of, you can send out reminders about things that may be happening at this stage. So if anyone uses that, then feel free to kind of pop in and let us know. So there isn't a cost directly to your event. So that's something that we've taken care of at the global headquarters level. Their text messaging rates are the same as any text message. So almost everybody has unlimited texting now. So your participants can opt in for that, and it won't be an additional charge for them.
Oh, okay. Now, chat box was kind of active during that discussion. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, sponsor name 2, do not change this. We really want that to point to the Relay for Life YouTube account, okay? So I know we want to. There's other places on our website that if you have a YouTube channel, you can share in other places. We can share YouTubes directly on our website. You don't have to use this spot anymore. That's an update. So leave this one pointing to the national YouTube. All right. Sponsor 3. It's funny, these old sponsor name 1, 2, and 3 used to be the only way we could recognize event sponsors, and they left that naming on there, but it's actually ways to tweak this is tweaking the links inside of our website. So they're not showing up as sponsors. It's going to show up as like the Twitter link is going to actually go to, if you have a local Twitter feed, a local Twitter, go ahead and do like Boone County Relay for Life or whatever your local Twitter. I do not have a local Twitter. But this is where you would put it in, and the little Twitter icon would be activated to your local one. For me, it's okay to go. Now this sponsor name for this guy's really cryptic. He is where we link to our Facebook page. Okay, this is where it gets a little deep. We're going to be linking to our Facebook page now, and to find this number is kind of hidden. And by the way, we have the step-by-steps, the link right in here of how to do it, and the way to do it is we go to our Facebook page. This is my little Relays Facebook page. And you copy your Facebook ID here. It's Boone County, Nebraska. Yes, we're in the boonies. We're officially Boone County. And there is a link called findmyfbid.com. Now be careful. There's lots of clickbait in here. Only put your link in here. Don't do the start now. That'll start a download. Ignore that. This is not something from American Cancer Society. This is just a tool we're using to find that mystery number to get our Facebook link working. and it says find my numeric ID. This is the weird number I need. Is that weird or what? It's not hard once you know where to go. So I'm going to copy that and go back to my, seriously, there we are. And I'm going to put that here under sponsor name 4. Control V for Voom. And now hopefully we're going to find out in a little bit whether or not that'll work. And while I'm in here, this is where the magic really happens. I'm gonna save this right now. I'm gonna show you how my event looks right now. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to relay.org. And honestly, I'm still logged in, even though it doesn't look like I am, but I am. It's okay, I'm still logged in. I can go here to my event, scrolling down, and you guys are gonna see where it did change. My date is now Saturday. My location is correct. And where we've done is this Facebook link right here should be changed right now to go, if it worked, it'll go to my Facebook page. Please work, please work, please work. And there it is, it worked. Okay, so I always like to check it. Anytime I change anything, I like to check it. And my Twitter would have changed now. That last one under the last sponsor name thing is over here. This event photos, notice this is an Instagram feed. If I want, I can pick out up to 10 pictures in my Instagram feed to automatically scroll through on here. And by the way, I can move this so it's higher up too. But to get this to be my local Relays Instagram and not just some random awesomeness pictures from the National Relay for Life site, that's where that other sponsor ID is. That's this one that we do right here. This really cryptic dude here, we find out by going to this was a link in that step-by-step. We're going to create a photo album on Instagram. I did this on my phone, like they said. And instead of copying to share the URL, I actually emailed it to myself. I emailed myself the URL because I'm not editing. I don't like to edit a website from my phone. And so this ended up being the Instagram link I got. I'm going to copy that. So this is not my full Instagram channel. This is like up to 10 pictures and a little Instagram, it says album. So we can share an album. You cannot share your full Instagram whole thing, but an album. I kind of like it because I can share just the current relay and current stuff. My full Instagram has too much TMI, too much information. By choosing just one album, it kind of focuses it in a little bit. And I'm going to go back here and put that in. Hopefully I did it right. Control V. Come on. Isn't that weird? I have a dash at the end. I'm going to go ahead and say save it. Hopefully it'll work. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to refresh my page to see if it rolled. And now it's the right Instagram feed. Isn't that cool? Do I hear any woohoos?
Woohoo! And Darcy, and Darcy, we did just have, and I love that you added your Instagram feed in. That's awesome. And we did have one question come through the chat that I wanted to address, and it's just there's lots and lots of questions coming through. So one person did ask if the fields for the sponsor lines matter, if you can change up the order. Those fields do matter. So you do want to keep the sponsor line 1 is the text word and so on, because it has to do with the way our developers have had to code to get those to place on your website. Now with your Instagram feed, one really cool thing that you can do is that this section you can actually move it up the page. So if Darcy was to click that pencil right there, you'll see some arrows, and then you can move that up the page.
Okay, so as far as the setup, the quick publish guide, we are almost to the end of the quick publish guide. Should I finish doing the quick publish guide before I start digging into the live website editing?
Sure, yeah. I think we could finish that up real quick, and then you can show them all the cool stuff, Darcy.
All right, so there's a couple more check marks we got to do before I get to go really dig. I couldn't resist. I had to go look at the website just to show people what those quote sponsors that aren't really sponsor fields do. But anyway, the last thing it says here, I'm going to say my finish. Always do my finish. And now it says event coordinator properties. Again, on the left, they want to make sure you have your event coordinator correct. Can I put in my own number here? so people bother me, or do you want me?
Absolutely. You can put your own number, email address. So that section can definitely be volunteer or staff. We always say whoever is the best person to answer the most general questions about your event, which is either your event lead like Darcy or your staff partner.
Okay. And I personally chose to put in my home phone number. I still have an old landline. I know I'm old fashioned. I also have DSL internet at home. That's why I'm at work. But that way, if I work with students during the day and I can't answer my cell phone all the time. So I put in my home phone so at least I can get a recording of it. I honestly don't get too many calls because we're so small, but I like to have the personal touch there. And the last one, I'm going to say finish on here. It says the very last thing is send recruitment email. I'm going to wait on that because I want to make my website prettier before I do the recruitment email. Do you agree on that?
Yep, that's perfect.
So I'm done with the event management center thing. Like I said, it doesn't look like you're changing your website, but you are. Okay, I already have my website going in another tab here, and my Zoom's controls are in the way. There we go, I got it. All right. Now this, once you are in, I'm going to go here to my dashboard. When you're logged in, we went first to the My Event Manager is where we first went to do all of our making sure our ducks are in a row, okay? Another place I like to go in here is under Resources. Resources, if you're ever lost and don't know what to do, here's Relay Connect, guys. Relay Connect is like the place, if you can't find this training, go search on it. This training's in there, okay? So this is, if you're kind of lost, this is where I go. This is where my dashboard is for my personal fundraising, okay? This is my team stuff, my personal fundraising. There's my personal cancer story and everything, okay? That's a picture they just took in Kansas City yesterday at our North Region training. So that's your personal page. This is my team page. I can edit my team page here. Notice the pencils to edit things that I can change stuff, okay? Now finally, this is where we're gonna have so much fun, my event. And here the pencil is up here. Do you guys see that on the left? Pencil. This is where I can have fun and change things. Okay, now, notice there's no pencils here because we had to change them under Event Manager earlier. Now, the event announcements that are outlined in red, we cannot modify those. It teases you. It acts like you can actually change them, but you can't. So do not try to modify the things that are outlined in red. You can change the order of some of these if you would like to. I think I can change this one. Like I have register early in here twice.
Yep, you can change and delete whatever you want.
So I'm going to say visit our Facebook page. Because some people don't know the little F means go to Facebook page. So anyway, here is our local Facebook. And I hop over and grab my address. I like to only grab it to Boone County, Nebraska. Control C for copy. Go back to here. And I like to highlight this and click on the little, the chains, the links of the chains. We hyperlink that way. And I always like to open in a new tab so that they can still have this page open and also see my Facebook page. Insert. And then anytime I've done something, I want to make sure, oh, by the way, the picture, that's boring, right? Got to change the picture. There's no images. That's one thing that's kind of disappointed. It does make me upload new images every year, but that's okay. We can go find other images. Maybe. Hopefully I have some images on here. That'll work. Open. And you can crop it, make it bigger, make it littler, things like that. And I like to fill in these descriptions because people who are visually impaired, as they move their mouse around or touch around on their screen, it actually reads what you write in here. So this is Survivor. Enter. Image lane is Survivor Lab. And save. I always like to fill those in, just keep in mind of the people. And it takes a couple seconds for it to show up, but it will show up, I promise. There it is. And now that I've made a change, you have to hit the little floppy disk. You guys, who remembers floppy disks? They still use that icon, meaning
Me.
yes. I mean, my students now don't even know what a floppy disk is, but now those changes that I have put on here actually is getting saved to my website. And another thing I like to do is I like to hop over to another browser to double check. While I'm doing my editing, I like to hop back and forth between browsers. So that was in Firefox. So here in Chrome, I'm going to go to relay.org. And I'm not logged into relay.org on this side. So I'm just going to find an event. I'm not logged in. I always like to look at it as though I'm a stranger visiting it. Because if you're logged in, sometimes stuff looks different. So I make sure I go to another browser. Oh, I'm logged in here. So I want to sign out. Sign out. I want to make sure I'm signed out. There we go. All right. And I'm looking down, and there it is. Visit our Facebook page. So there's my story. And I'm going to go back over to my other editing browser. And let's say I want that story to go down. Boy, register early is on here a lot, isn't it? That's funny. Delete it. Yes.
Yeah, we have a bug in. For some reason, some event announcements are duplicating. So we're working on fixing that. But you can just delete it,
Delete.
and they won't save.
And also, if I want the app to be more important, I can just use my up arrow, and it moves it up in order. Okay, pretty easy. Oh, there's another one, another app. Delete that one, and yes, and it's okay. And we're gonna delete that one, and yes, and life is good. And Luminaria, I can talk about in here, talk about our puzzle piece themes, and here we have an extra one here. Delete. Can you tell I never clean this up? See why I didn't want to do my email just yet? Must do it. Okay. So this announcement is going to be a news story just like this. If I wanted to, I can create a new announcement, add another picture, add another title, put in hyperlinks, everything. If I wanted to, that's fine. I personally am kind of excited. Also, I like my Instagram pictures to be higher up. I like to move that up. Anybody else agree? I want my pictures towards the top so we can customize how it looks. I even want it above my announcements. All right, isn't that fun? I got my photos, then I have my announcements. Does that make sense? And now, this is the part that is fun for me. I don't have any sponsors yet. This is the area of adding sponsors in our spring training, the recording of the spring training. I go into all my tips and tricks for that. That's another quite a long thing, but this is where we add our images and links to go to our sponsor pages. This is what's so exciting for me. We add a new section. I am so excited about this. I'm going to add a new section and look at, before this is our only option for announcements. It was just this, nothing else. Look what we can do, guys. Look what we can do. Look what we can do. And yes, we can add YouTube videos. I am so excited. Like if you did a recording during a fundraiser, you can add a video of Relayers in action. Is this exciting or what? I am just so excited. And this will be on, I'm going to move it up so it can be up further, you know. It'll be, I can make it up right with my news items and everything. So is this kind of fun, guys? And it's not saving. How do I save?
It's saving. We're having this is what happens when new sites roll. We've got a bug for the save spinner, so that should be resolved in the next couple of weeks. Gotta love bugs, all right? They always creep in when we give you guys new websites.
I trusted it saved because I saw the result.
Right, yeah, you'll see the result. Normally, guys, what will happen is it'll do the load spin, and then you'll get a check mark that verifies that, yes, it's saved. But it is saving. It's just showing that it's loading for a very long time. Okay. But yes, this new template section is amazing for anyone that has worked with custom pages before and created their own custom pages. It's the same templates that are available with the addition of YouTube and Google Calendars. So those were two things that we heard loud and clear from our volunteers, is they wanted the option to be able to add in YouTube and Google Calendars easily, and we were able to do that for you guys. We're so excited. Our developers worked really hard on it. And then for John, you know, he had mentioned that he wanted a different way to display a link to one of his custom pages. Well, you can add also a clickable button onto your page. So you could highlight, you know, here are our fundraising events, and you can have that button on your page where people can just easily find it so quick, and it's so exciting. So I'm glad you're all very excited about YouTube and Google Calendars. I can't wait to be on our daily call with our developers to let them know the volunteers were freaking out about this, because they worked hard on it for you guys.
I'm saving it. This is what a clickable button looks. It's just a button to go to my Instagram. Now I'm going to hop over to that other browser, refresh, and see how the clickable button actually shows up. I have not, I'm trying it live, guys. You're here with me. Clickable button. I just put it in here. What does it look like? I don't see it. Oh, it says here it is. Boom. There it is. Cool. Yay. All right. Here it is. That's the one. So this is how it shows up on the live page, and this is what it looks like in the editor. It makes sense once you see it. That's why I love having the double browsers going. And on my work computer, I actually have two screens where I have my playing one and the live one going. So I'm excited, guys. Should we open it up to other questions now?
Yes, you can create more than one button.
Yes.
And currently the buttons stack one on over on top of the others. There's not a way to do it horizontally, but that's something we're looking at being able to do.
I've used the 3 images one to, I took little screenshots of the new relay shirts. Should I do that? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just for like team captain colors, survivor colors, participant, you know, some people ask what are the team captain or, so these are what I put these in, and there they show up 3 wide. That's kind of fun. What takes a long time for me is uploading the images. Quick way to get images. Here you go. This is another resource I like, is the ELT page. And it's not loading. But like if I wanted to talk about that cool bag there, if I want to just take a picture of that to put on my local website, there's a neat tool built into Windows, and I just go down here to search and type snip. And the old one was called Snipping Tool. The new one's called Snip and Sketch. And I'm going to say new. And it shadows out, and I want just that image, And I say, save it. And I call it bag design. And I like JPEGs myself. They seem to work well on the website. Save. That's just a quick way to grab an image. Now, if you wanted nicer images, what was that Relay resource? Not Relay Connect, there's another one to get official images. Oh,
the brand toolkit.
Brand toolkit. Oh my gosh. That is so worth, I know it makes us re-log in every like 90 days or something, or revalidate or log in, kind of like having to revalidate. But it is so nice as far as really nice high quality pictures for us to use. Okay, I can do this. Where am I? I lost my editing. I lost it. Oh no. There we are. Haha, found it again. Edit. And I want to add a new section with 2 images and new image. I'm going to upload that one I just made with the bag. What did I call it? Bag design, right? That's the, where did I put it? The where'd it go? I could put this one on there too. Sorry, I'm getting lost. Anybody want to bring me back to life here?
I think you put the other one under pictures.
Oh, I was under pictures. Thank you so much. It's the where'd it go? All right, this is kind of fun. And I'm just call that was a booth. And this was an information booth. Okay, awesome. So for that image is right there. It will show up eventually, I promise. And new image. I'll look under pictures. Thank you for your advice on where'd it go. Do you guys ever have that, the where'd it go? Thank you, thank you. And this was called the 35th anniversary bag, special bag. 35th anniversary design. Isn't that cool? Save. And it will come. And if I wanted a caption under these, I could do that too. And is that cool? Hopping over, refreshing the page, and we'll see how it looks. There it is. Fun stuff. Okay, I'm gonna try to get back to my PowerPoint and figure out, since I kind of got lost, I have so much fun editing these and making a difference. When you are done editing, here's where we went over the new section. Make sure you can do the little pencil to actually get in there. I actually have more details of like my tips and tricks for doing your sponsors and having them look nice. And also all the links in last spring's slideshow here too are all there. And once you get it nice and pretty and everything and how you like it to look, that's when we do our last site launch email. So how are we gonna handle that? Because honestly, I have 5 people I email. I don't use the emailing part of this. We want to go on and demonstrate doing the last check mark here of sending a site launch email. Would you like to take over the screen and show from your site, or would you like to talk me through it?
I'll talk you through it, Darcy. And if once we get to the last bit of it, then we can always just not actually do the final send.
Because it's really not quite ready yet. But
Oh, no, that's fine. We can get it all the way there and just not hit the send button. That's the best part.
sounds good to me. I am willing to be your guinea pig if you're willing to tolerate someone who has an email.
For sure.
All right.
And I have to apologize. My husband is trying very hard to keep a 14-month-old entertained in the other room. So if you hear Disney music in the background, that's what's going on.
Very good. Talk me through.
All right. So you're going to go to your Event Manager Center.
Okay, right there.
And you're going to select your event emails.
Okay.
Just going to reorder some stuff on the screen here so I can see everything. All right. Go to Edit Coaching Emails.
Okay.
And in the search here, you can type website. And you've got the recruitment email number 1, and you'll select copy. Now, one little tip for everybody, because this sometimes comes up in that search on our websites, it's what's called a sticky search. So if you log out and log back in, that same search term is going to be in there. So if you ever log in and you're like, I can't find any of my event emails, just clear out the search and all of them will pop back up again. Same if you ever are having to search for participants or such. So.
Okay, so just click on like show all, you mean? If it,
yeah, you can do show all, you can clear it and hit search again. Either way, that's what goes on. If you've ever had that moment of panic, I know that's something that happens. So if you select copy,
okay.
You can rename this email, but we'd love if you guys could keep the message name, the first part of it the same, just because that helps us when it comes back to reporting and seeing what emails y'all are sending. So if you just hit copy message and then hit, I believe, finish. Okay, yeah.
I just hit copy message. Oh, and then,
Yep, perfect. You'll select edit.
okay, so this is the one I can customize.
Yep. And we'll go to next.
So it's for this cycle year.
Yep, all of this can stay the same. So this is where you can start making some changes. You can do the sender name can be Relay for Life of your community. One of the things that we do ask, so on this sender email, we might want to leave that one. Yes, perfect. So on the sender email, you're going to want to leave it as that online support, I believe was the name of the email that we had. If you'll go back, yeah. If you'll leave this the same, and the only reason we have you leave the sender email the same is that we've noticed we've had some delivery issues when it comes from other email addresses. So this kind of just helps us to ensure that places like Yahoo and AOL will receive your message. And then the reply to is where you would update with your local email address. So this is where you would put yours, Darcy. So anybody that actually responds to the email would be responding to you.
That makes validation errors. Yeah, they think
Exactly.
okay.
Yep, that's exactly why. And if you scroll down, so we've already got the message done for you. If you want to change the subject, you can, but I mean, it's cute. Why have to change all your stuff, right? And then we've already got the stationery picked, and you just have to hit next. And then here, everything is done. So again, if you wanted to add something in local or change something real quick, you can. If you see something where you see the little tags, the S47, S this is this. So what this is this is coding to pull in event specific information. So you just leave that in there and it's going to pull in your event. So if you hit preview, Darcy, and as long as your pop-up's not turned on, you'll be able to see a preview of your message, and it will include all the local information where you see these little S47 info, location, and times. So if you want to do the preview real quick.
So this is, if I hadn't tweaked and modified my website information earlier, this would have been incorrect.
Exactly. And that is a great point, Darcy. You don't want to send an email and it be wrong.
So get.
Yep. Oh, and Firefox is doing your pop-up on you.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Where is it?
Those, if you hit options, you get the yellow bar right here. And say allow. Yeah, there you go.
There it goes.
That's one thing also to remember. If you have most websites nowadays, browsers have pop-up blockers. So you just want to make sure that. Isn't it beautiful? So it'll say hi, Darcy, and then that'll populate correct for everyone.
Perfect.
Yep.
This is actually easier than I expected. So thank you.
I mean, email always seems really intimidating until you go through it and realize it's just a bunch of steps. So you just hit save and next, and you'll go to the next screen. So this has already been converted to plain text for you. For the folks that don't know, plain text is what people who don't use HTML will receive. So plain text, most people have their email set to that, but HTML is when you get the pretty emails with the images. Plain text is just this. It's just going to be the text itself. So if you want to hit next.
Hey, wait, Courtney, I have a quick question on that screen. If you had made changes on the HTML side, would you have needed to hit the convert?
Yes, you would convert if you had made changes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you'd want to convert it. And if there's anything that you wanted to go in and just kind of make sure that you update or change based on the plain text.
Okay.
So, and if you ever have anybody that says, I'm getting this weird gobbledygook coding whenever I get my recognition email for raising $100, oh, that's because they have email that's been set to plain text, and we have a help doc on relayforlife.org/EMC support that talks through the process of how you update that on the society account side. Okay, so you can send yourself a test, and I would suggest sending yourself a test message because you want to make sure that it looks good. Best practice, if it's you have another volunteer that you can also send to that maybe has, if you have Yahoo, maybe they have Gmail, and you want to send to your staff partner. Send to a couple of people who can take a peek, make sure everything looks good. You can send a plain text version to make sure that that all populated correctly, and then if it didn't, you can go back and update. But this is your new season, get registered. And if you click the links, it'll actually take you. So if you go register for Relay, it should take you to your event website, which is always really nice, right? We love that.
More pictures.
And this is why, and you know, we get a lot of questions around this, like, why do you encourage local events to send their own emails? Because you guys, when you send emails, you can do customizations that we can't do on the national level. We can't send directly to your, well, we have to say join a relay, and then it sends it to our find an event page instead of directly to that relay. And I mean, this is so cool. Why not? I mean, it makes it even easier for our participants to register. So if we hit next, if it looked great and beautiful, you hit approve and then just finish that bad boy up. All right, so Darcy, you'll see if you scroll down a bit, there you go. It's going to be ready to begin delivery. So hit begin delivery. And then you're going to select your email group. So you're going to send it to previous event participants, and you'll hit next. And that's all you'll need to select on this one. Okay, and you can just hit add all.
Right.
And then you can go next. You'll see stuff that says placeholders. That's in case we ever need to add an email group in. We just have them in there because if we don't put it in the beginning, we'll never be able to add another group. All right, so you're going to go, now this gives you the option of filtering even more. So you can do participants from the previous event. You can send just to team members who've not returned. You
Like
can
a
send
reminder.
yep, and you can send to just the team captains whose teams from the previous event have not returned. So you just select which one you want. If you want to send it to everybody, you sure can. And you can go here. I've seen this message like one other time today, or somebody sent this and we have something in. So don't worry about that message. Okay,
Right.
scroll down, and this is going to show you all your groups. And if you want, if you'll scroll down some more, you can either send this immediately, or if you scroll up, there is an option to also schedule. And if you schedule your message, you just pick the date and time you want to send. Now, the times are on Central Time Zone, so that's something to remember. And once you set the time and the date, you'll be presented with this screen. You'll scroll back down and it'll say send at scheduled time. And that's when you'd hit that button and it would send at that time. Now, if you ever are scheduling any emails, an important thing to remember, because this happens more often than not, it takes a minute for all of the emails to hit the different email groups. So you got to think you're emailing Yahoo's, Gmail, like Outlooks, like so many different email types. So it can take several minutes for everything to send, and sometimes the report doesn't even refresh for up to an hour. So don't stress if you've scheduled to send and it's still showing that it's queued to send. Give it some time and it will send. If emails aren't sending, we'll know about it pretty quick, and you'll get a message knowing to know that like something's wrong with the system. But we, knock on wood, haven't had any issues with emails not sending. If you hear from participants that they didn't receive a message, make sure that their message isn't going to spam. And then the next thing we might want to do is start checking on whether or not they've unsubscribed. And in that case, that's when you would reach out to your staff partner, and we can kind of do some investigating to see if that participant is accepting email. And you can actually run, I believe it shows on the participant report who receives email and who doesn't. There's like a column on there, I believe, that'll show you. So you can either send that immediately, Darcy, or you can just leave it as it is. Once you send your messages, you have a delivery list, and see, Darcy's got it right here. It'll show queued until it's finished sending. Once that sends, it'll show you how many people have received it. And then you check back maybe like a day or so later, you can actually see how many people opened your message and clicked through. So it's really cool. You can take a peek at how your emails are performing. So I definitely suggest using those recruitment engagement emails, they are already pre-done for you. We will have an email calendar updated pretty soon to share that gives you, you'll be able to put in, if you put in a date, it'll pre-populate when you should send all those recruitment engagement messages. So you don't even have to think about it, and you've got these wonderful messages going out in your communities. So did I cover it all there, Darcy? You have any other questions?
Someone just said in the chat, I've had times where it doesn't update the number sent, but I'd gotten the email. Usually it updates, but not always. That's from Chris D.
Okay. And check back on that, Chris. It should update within, you know, a day or so. And if it doesn't, let your staff partner know. We need to investigate why it's not showing your numbers.
And there was also, you said for me, you said it's Central Time. It's I'm in Central Time.
Yep.
The times I'm seeing guys is Central Time. She doesn't mean everybody has to schedule in Central Time, just for my emails.
Oh no, they send on Central Time. Yeah. So that's one thing to think about. Yeah. So if you're on Eastern and you want to send at 9 a.m., you got to think 8 a.m.
Okay. Okay. So we have to do some math. Oh my.
Do a little mathing on your heads. But that's just a tip to kind of know. I don't know why the system sends it that way, but it does. So,
okay.
Yes, and I love that tip of you can schedule them months in advance based on the calendar that we have available for you guys. That we post on the EMC support page, and that Darcy's pulled up the awesome resources. So I will do a quick plug for the EMC support page. It is awesome. It has everything. Please bookmark it, use it. We update the resources on that page so you don't have to keep re-downloading them. It has everything you're going to need when it comes to editing your event website, all the guides, everything, super helpful. So you don't have to dig around. And then Darcy, I don't know, have you ever tried out Relay Connect?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I figured you would. It's a volunteer-led event. If everybody else isn't, Relay Connect's another really great resource.
Alrighty. Should we open up for questions for a little bit?
Sure.
Anyone? And I know we're about out of time. Thank you guys for this. Time is precious. We still have 48 people hanging in here with us. Anybody else have some previous questions? Okay. Next training series, September 30th, using an editorial calendar to organize your content. October 14th, understanding analytics and using insights. October 28th, touring the tools, more Relay resources. And if you guys have any ideas for other trainings we need to do stuff like this, let us know. If you want to help us host them, we'll use you. It's a lot of fun. It's a little nerve-wracking, but it's been going great. So anything else to add? You can unmute, talk to us, type in the chat box. Awesome, guys. Thank you all. Don't forget, if you want us to send you links with the recordings and everything, please put in your email address in the chat box. We will be sure to give you a follow-up email of the materials we covered tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see some emails coming in. What can we use a Google Calendar for? That's an awesome question.
That is an awesome question. A lot of events that have used Google Calendar in the past use it for basically anything going on with their relay. So they may use it for fundraisers that are coming up. They could use it to announce team captains meetings, important dates like survivor activities. So just basically any dates that are of importance to your relay, you can use a Google Calendar and have that on your front page so that folks know what's happening in your community. Some of the dates you may want to have on there are ones you would want the general public to know so that they have information on where to find things.
And the good thing about doing a Google Calendar is as you change it on Google, it'll automatically update your page. You don't have to modify it in two places. I synchronize all my calendars with the Google Calendar. It also synchronizes with my iPhone calendar. Just my phone gives me updates based on what I put on my Google Calendar. It's like if you use a Google Calendar for your event, it'll automatically show up, and you can have other people can follow your calendar. Like if you add it to your if your event leadership team all are into the Google Calendar, they will all see that you added something. You don't have to email them, even outside of the website. Does that make sense? It's just a free tool. It's one I use. It's not the only calendar out there, but it's a very popular one. Yeah, you see, I had a colonoscopy in August. Yay, I turned 60.
Hey, the question is, do they need to create a separate calendar from their personal calendar? Do they need to make something special for their event to sync on?
Good question.
You can use your own personal account. I tend to encourage that folks maybe have a separate account though for their relay so that you're not the only one managing it. I know a lot of relays like to create like their own Gmail accounts because they're free, and then have a shared username and password so that several ELT members can and staff can update calendars and manage that relay inbox so it's not just falling on one person.
I was trying to put in my email in the chat box. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It went to somebody privately. Can somebody tell me what to do?
Okay, on the who you're sending it to, you do the arrow down next to the who you're going to and go to the top and say everyone.
Okay, see, I did that wrong. Thank you.
No problem. Glad to help.
And someone asked if we were going to do Facebook events for these, and just as a reminder, we set it up each time. We create an event, like tomorrow after this happened today, we'll create an event for the next one, and those are all created in the Nationwide Online Share Facebook group, and we share them to the ELT page as well. So both groups have access to that, but those are both Facebook groups that you guys may want to be part of. But there will be a Facebook event each time.
Hi, I don't know if this is working, but does Google Calendar in any way link to Facebook events? Would that be a benefit of having Google Calendar on a local event page, because then it would link to the Facebook page, or do they not work that way?
Google Calendar and Facebook events, I do not believe are connected. They're two different platforms. So I haven't tried to connect the two, but yeah, you would want to make sure that you're updating your Google Calendar separate from the Facebook events.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're recording this training right now, and we will have it available on Relay Connect. My goal would be to have it be live streamable. It might be as a download, but downloads go pretty fast. But yes, the full video and the slides will be available. Now, Chris said you couldn't find the link. You couldn't find the link for what, Chris? I'm sorry. I'll go try to find the link if you... It was hard-coded, copy and paste it to tonight's training. Oh, okay.
I'll look at that. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but it should have been shareable from either group and then inside of it. So I'll make sure that there's everything. Yeah, we'll work on that. It's good insight. Kendra also just posted, and I think it's great. Anybody curious about the Gold Together information, there is a live that just started at 8 o'clock that you guys can gather with Grant and his mom, and they're sharing about that. So it'll be powerful if you guys need that information.
Great troubleshooting entering the Zoom ID manually. Wow. Thank you, thank you.
Can I ask a question? I think you said this a while ago, and I was trying to figure out how to chat. So did you guys say that sometimes the ELT team will like do a Google account, like a Google email, and they have shared, so we could put that and just go in and check it?
Yep.
I wondered about that. I just didn't know exactly how to do that. So
Google, I mean, we're not advocating this as the only tool. There's other emails you could set up for email
yes,
accounts. And you would just go to Gmail or Google, where do we go? Gmail.com. And it's going to come in, if you already have a Gmail account, it'll automatically log into that one, okay? And that's not the one you have to use. You just click on your little picture in the top right here, and you say add an account. And you can continue or create a new account right here. And the hard part about creating a new account is just coming up, we're going to say it's for myself for now. And I like to say, I'll put in my name to start with. And the username, like for me, it could be Boone County Relay at, and we're going to see whether or not that's already used. And then I could set up a password. And the thing is, you will just give that username and password to the other people in your account. Now, you'll also be able to set up a recovery email. So if somebody changes the password and you didn't know about it, still make that your email. So you can go in and if somebody messes with you, change
right.
you can go reset it. But it really doesn't matter what's on these two first things here. Or I could say first name is Boone County. My last name could be Relay for Life. Right? And yeah, and I always have to capitalize the 4. I sometimes forget that. But it's really easy to set up a new Gmail account, and it's totally free. Unlimited emails back and forth. You also have a Google Photos account that goes with it too. Google Calendar. And the idea of it shared means you're sharing that username and password. It's not necessarily it thinks it's still the same account. More than one person can be logged in at once. It doesn't care. I've been logged in as myself on several computers at one time, and my calendar still updates. So did that?
Okay. Yep, that's good.
Awesome. I'm just going to close this because I'm not going to do that. But yeah, click on whatever picture you have. That's my school account. Here's my personal. Oh, my personal account's not in there anymore. Changing your pictures right here. But it's fun. I use Google a lot just because it's free and we have no budget at my school. But there are other emails you could set up. I mean, if you have a local internet service provider that would like to give you guys an email address rather than a Gmail, if like @cox.com or local internetisawesome.com, whatever, if they want to offer you up a free internet address and give them some advertising, go ahead, maybe open the door for a sponsorship. Have your Relay website ID. Any other questions? This has been great. Hotmail, Live, and Outlook are also free. Very good. Yeah. Some communities, everybody has had a hotmail.com. You know, some depends on what's in your area. Hotmail, I think, has some limitations on the attachment site. Hotmail and Outlook, I think, are both. Outlook is a tool from Microsoft to read them. All right, guys. This can't be said enough. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts of trying to learn this with us. All the inputs. We don't claim to be experts, but together we'll make it great. And we still have 29 people with us. I'm just blown away.
Hey, Darcy, do you see Kendra's last question? It's a good one. I don't know the answer to.
Okay. It says, had a person text me about how to get access to the website if they had not gone through ACS training. Are you going to cover that? The first time you get access to the website, you have some required trainings. And it's basically you're going to log into the training account. In fact, they're all online. They don't take that long to go through the trainings. You don't have to go to an in-person training. And basically, when you have the keys to the kingdom of the Relay website, you have keys to change people's passwords. You have keys. You can look at their the answers to some of their things. So before American Cancer Society, let's just modify the website since it has that event manager backdoor where we can see more than just the website, we have to be trained. And it's just watching some videos, some common sense follow-up questions. I went through all the trainings last year just to see what they were like, and it took me less than 2 hours, and it was good review. It's a worthwhile training to go through. So yes, you have to be trained, but it'll see you're not trained. They will send you the links. It's part of the vetting process. But if you've already been in there, that's why the red link made it go a little faster this year for me. Did that make sense, Kendra? Okay. Because it's you don't want to hand out permissions like that to just anyone. And I appreciate that they're checking us out because it is important. Okay. Great questions, great conversations. I appreciate everyone's time. And Sam's still with us. Hi, Sam. He's just hanging out to see what else comes up. Yeah, small. Yeah, we're stubborn. We're stubborn, but we love our little small relay. It's the conversations, the tears, the hugs are all still very real, even though there's not many of us. Still not good not to be alone, even though we're in a small town. Okay, that training is linked. Thank you, Sam. He wants to love and serve and grow. Okay. Okay, down to 20 participants. What do you guys think? Should we stop the recording? Gonna stop the recording now. So